Let's head around the Inside Politics table, ask our great reporters to share a nugget or two from their notebooks. MJ Lee?
Donald Trump, who prides himself on being the most unorthodox candidate, running the most unorthodox campaign, is showing the most baby signs of running a more traditional campaign lately. I was in Iowa with him this week, and I saw that there were volunteers handing out leaflets explaining how the Iowa caucuses work and collecting voter information. He's also talking for the first time about possibly running TV ads, which is something he said early on that he had no interest in doing. So maybe he's starting to feel the pressure a little bit and feel like, you know, running the most unorthodox campaign isn't always the right way to do it.
Sometimes old school rules.
Well, John, Paul Ryan is just not there yet when we talk about whether or not he's going to take the speaker's gavel. And largely, there are several reasons, one of which he is not convinced yet that he could get the 247 votes in order to become speaker. He does not want to live week by week the way John Boehner did, or face the same rebellion from the 40 or so Republicans in the House Freedom Caucus that essentially torpedoed Kevin McCarthy's bid to become speaker. Not just that, he's also got some concerns about the amount of fundraising that goes into the job like this. John Boehner, of course, traveled virtually every single weekend for that job. But there's a lot of pressure on him to take it, and folks are saying to him, look, we can help you out on the fundraising front. Republican leaders have approached him, I'm told, and said, look, we're willing to go on the road for you, so you can go home on the weekends. You don't have to do as much fundraising, and they've tried to also get some of those guys on the right to back him if he does want the job. Don't expect a decision anytime soon, at least this coming week, but he's skeptical, but hasn't shut the door quite just yet.
He clearly doesn't want the job. Okay, we'll see what he decides in the end. Lisa?
Want a glimpse of Hillary Clinton's fall strategy? Keep your eye on her post-debate schedule. After Tuesday's forum, she's headed not to Iowa or New Hampshire, but Texas and Alabama. Her campaign believes with her numbers down in Iowa and New Hampshire, those other early voting states, her campaign believes Super Tuesday offers them the best chance to undercut Bernie Sanders. They think their organizational strength and the more favorable terrain of those southern states can help them deliver that March 1st knockout punch. So I would expect a lot of grits and barbecue in Hillary Clinton's future.
And the accent comes back when
Right,
she's down.
her accent will come back.
The Arkansas comes back out of there. Julie?
Jeb Bush's team says publicly that they're not worried about his middling poll numbers at this point because they have a campaign that's built to last. But privately, there are a lot of people around Bush who feel like he really needs to make a move this month in October, not necessarily overtaking Donald Trump, but showing a consistent rise up into the top tier. And it's more than just about the calendar. Jeb Bush's super PAC is spending a lot of money on television ads right now in Iowa and New Hampshire on the theory that as voters learn more about him, see him more, they'll start to like him more. So if you're not seeing a rise in the polls along with these television ads, it's going to be a problem for their long-term strategy.
A lot of pressure on Governor Bush. And I'll close with another question in which Governor Bush is front and center: how the most recent fundraising numbers will impact the Republican race. Ben Carson was the big wow, taking in more than $20 million in the last 3 months. The Ted Cruz campaign is bragging about its $12 million take, especially by pointing out that's twice as much as the Florida Senator Marco Rubio raised in the third quarter. Governor Bush hasn't released his official numbers yet, though a number of reports suggest his take will be a bit bigger than the $11.7 million Bush raised in the second quarter. Now, when those numbers are released, rival campaigns, of course, will want to know just how much the governor raised in the July, August, September quarter. But they are even more interested, I would say most interested, in how fast the Bush campaign is spending that money. And we'll be quick to look at how much the Bush campaign reports in cash on hand heading into the end of the year crunch.